Hello. It's been a while. I've been doing a lot of my reflections from up in the office. I've had some car difficulties this week, which is preventing me from driving in. I'm down in the Philadelphia area, so I'm home this week, and I decided to do the reflection in here in my garage, partly because this has become, while we were in, the thick of stay-at-home orders, this was where I would go for. There's a few kind of men's prayer groups that I have been a part of in this area over time, and they went virtual, so this is where I would come, and it kind of separated, the house and the boys, and I would come here and just have a little bit of space, have a little heater, and it's funny, I had to laugh to myself, because if you had told me this time last year that this would be a place that was where I found some sense of like spiritual refuge, I would have laughed at you. But it has. This dark and dreary garage has become a really important place for me for as far as my prayer life is concerned. So I figured I'd bring you all here today, and hopefully it's an opportunity for everyone else watching to consider where in your home. You know, do you feel close to your faith? Do you feel as a prayerful environment? And where can you carve out that space for yourself? So the reading today is perfect for me today. It was the line from Luke's gospel that really grabbed my attention is, if this day you only knew what makes for peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes. Now it is hidden from your eyes. And it's great because this day I've had a lot of things that have made it difficult to see my faith. Have things, just things. Earlier I referenced that I've had some car troubles on Monday afternoon or Monday morning. I was driving into the office and found myself on the side of 95 waiting for a tow truck. And because the towing company, the garage I take my car to, the second towing company, the dealership that it now has to go to, all have people out sick who have tested positive. There's a whole I'm not getting it back right away. And I woke up this morning and it was 50 degrees in the house because the furnace had gone out, and so I'm trying to scramble to figure out what's wrong with it, and that at least has been resolved. And in the meantime, the one thing I had forgotten about was a couple weeks ago I tried to get I saw a little sign of water and called the roofing company that I've used in years past, and they said they have guys out sick, but they'd get around to it. So had totally forgotten about that, and lo and behold, earlier this afternoon I get a call. My name's Brian. I'm going to be in your neighborhood in 20 minutes. I got my ladder. I'm going to come check out the roof. I'm like, all right. So he's here, and what I had seen was not a problem at all, but what he saw on the other end of the house is a little bit of an issue that needs to be addressed. And then he sees while he's up there the garage, which needs a whole new roof. My prayerful place might have a sunroof pretty soon. And it's funny. I'm not saying this to complain. I'm saying this that all of those things. I got 2 phone calls today that probably needed my attention. And the first one, I complained about the things, and I didn't listen. My faith in the what makes for peace in that first line. If this day you only knew what makes for peace. For me, the thing that makes for peace, and where I'm active in prayer, is oftentimes in conversation. And I had that first call, right over my head, totally missed it. And then a second call came, and I answered, and for whatever reason, I locked in, and how you doing? And I had a conversation with someone for not a long time, but I just somebody who's having a hard time, who's fearful of you know, he's got a compromised immune system. His wife, whose mother is ill and she's an only child, lives down in Florida, and he's really worried about, you know, what her going to Florida is going to mean for their safety. And I just locked into that, and I just had a conversation. And the great thing is, all the things, there's nothing wrong with those things. I need a roof over my head. I need a car to get to work. I need you know, and I got to deal with each of those things. But a lot of times when those things become more important than the first call was, then I'm no longer listening or actively looking for God. You know, and that second call is a stark reminder that, you know, we show up to our faith. We show up, we actively engage, we actively look for it. And I'll tell you what, I didn't do it for this reason, but when I hung up the phone, the next phone call that I had to make for the car seemed a lot less important. It's not that it was not important, it just seemed like something I could do without as much. I was more calm, you know, and that's the blessing that our faith is, isn't it? That we, you know, we get that peace. If this day you only knew what makes for peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes. I truly believe, for me personally, I think it's the invitation for all of us to ask ourselves, you know, in those times of anxiety and those times of uncertainty where many of us reside these days. I think we have a sense of normal, but we see numbers going up and there's some anxiety about that, and we ask ourselves, who in my life needs a phone call? You know, and you know, we practice a little humility. You know, and I heard this a long time ago, that idea of humility isn't thinking less of ourselves, it's thinking of ourselves less. And when I do that, when I think of myself a little less than the things that I need to do, you know, for my own well-being and for my family's well-being, I'm able to do it with a sense of peace and a lack of fear and anxiety. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope that everyone considers someone that as an active prayer today. We can pick up the phone and call and see how somebody's doing. Maybe make an additional effort not to tell them how we're doing unless asked, but call just to make it about that person. And that's all I got today. Thank you so much. I hope all of you are safe and well, and hopefully I'll see you soon.